Before the British arrived, the land now called Nigeria was home to powerful kingdoms and diverse peoples. In the north, Hausa city-states like Kano and Katsina thrived as centers of trade and Islamic culture. The Yoruba built empires such as Oyo, famed for their cavalry and political systems, while the Igbo organized themselves in self-governing, democratic communities. Along the coast, groups like the Ijaw, Efik, and Itsakiri were skilled traders and fishermen, shaping unique cultures. These societies traded, fought, and intermarried, creating a web of connections across the region. Goods and ideas flowed along ancient routes, linking the forest kingdoms to the savanna empires. Each community had its own language, traditions, and worldview, forming a land of immense cultural richness. This was the world the British would encounter, a land with a proud history shaped by its own people. The British first came for trade, not conquest. After abolishing the slave trade in 1807, they sought new resources, especially palm oil from the Niger Delta, vital for Europe's industries. British companies wanted control over palm oil, cocoa, and other raw materials, and saw Nigeria as a huge market for their goods. Economic motives drove them inland, but so did a belief in a civilizing mission, the idea that they should spread Christianity and Western ways. Missionaries arrived, aiming to replace local religions and customs. Meanwhile, European powers competed fiercely for African territory in the scramble for Africa. Britain feared losing out to rivals like France and Germany. Colonies became symbols of national power and prestige. The stage was set for Britain to claim Nigeria, with little regard for the people already living there. British control over Nigeria grew through trade companies, treaties, and military force. The Royal Niger Company, led by George Goldie, secured treaties, often misunderstood by local leaders, that ceded land and power. The 1884 Berlin Conference let European nations claim African lands if they had effective occupation, accelerating the scramble. When persuasion failed, the British used superior weapons to conquer resistant kingdoms. In 1897, they destroyed Benin City, exiled its Oba, and looted its treasures. They crushed the Aro Confederacy in the east, and by 1903, defeated the Sokoto Caliphate in the north. By the early 1900s, most resistance was violently subdued. In 1914, Britain merged the north and south into a single colony, Nigeria, created for administrative convenience, not shared identity. The new borders ignored ethnic and cultural realities. Nigeria was now under British rule, its destiny reshaped by foreign hands. The British ruled Nigeria through indirect rule, using local leaders as agents of colonial authority, especially in the north. Traditional rulers lost real power, answering to British officials and collecting taxes for the empire. The economy was restructured for export. Farmers grew cash crops for Britain, not food for themselves. Railways and roads served extraction, not local development. Missionaries built schools, spreading English and Western values, creating a small class of educated Nigerians. British culture was promoted as superior, deepening cultural divisions and a sense of inferiority. Nigerians resisted, sometimes violently, sometimes through protest and cultural defiance. The Aba Women's Riot of 1929 showed that even the powerless could challenge colonial rule. Despite oppression, Nigerians found ways to preserve their identity and push back. Colonial rule left deep scars, but also planted seeds of change. After World War II, Nigerians demanded independence, inspired by new ideas of freedom. In 1960, Nigeria became a nation, but the colonial legacy ran deep. British-drawn borders forced hundreds of ethnic groups into one state, fueling political tension and conflict. Indirect rule had created regional imbalances, leading to instability and even civil war. The economy remained dependent on exporting raw materials, benefiting foreign companies and a local elite. Infrastructure served extraction, not national development, making self-sufficiency difficult. Yet colonization also forged a shared Nigerian identity. English became a common language, and resistance united diverse peoples. Nigeria's story is one of conquest and resilience, shaped by its colonial past, but always striving for a better future. The nation continues to grapple with these legacies as it charts its own path forward.